Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 11 of our F122 My Team Career Mode. Yes, this weekend we return to my home Grand Prix and a very, very special circuit on the Formula 1 calendar. We're back at Silverstone, of course, the home of British motorsport. If you missed out on the video that went live fairly late last evening, depending on where you are in the world from Austria, would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Probably the best and craziest race we've had so far this season. The sprint weekend from the Styrian Mountains, the hills were certainly alive with the sound of Formula 1 cars and maybe on occasion the sound of carbon fibre breaking off those Formula 1 cars. But yeah, of course as well, if you're new around here, I just want to say a massive thank you for the continued support. We've now ticked over 108,000 subscribers. We're less than 2k away from 110k. I'm having so much fun with F123. I really hope you guys are enjoying as well. And of course, yeah, daily F123 content until we win the World Championship. So what more could you possibly ask for? But having a look then, of course, still waiting on some more upgrades to go onto the car at the moment. But yeah, really from Haas all the way down to ourselves is very, very close at the moment. Aston Martin, however, have now jumped Mercedes a little bit further up the roster. Championship-wise, Verstappen is just slowly but surely building up a lead at the front of the field there. 11th in the Drivers' Championship for myself, 7th in the Constructors' Championship for the team as well. And I think this might be the last race we have Enzo Fittipaldi in the car. He has simply not delivered, unless he can spring a surprise here, I suppose. Here we are then, back at beautiful and rather surprisingly sunny Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. I always love coming back here, and especially after the highs of last weekend in the Austrian mountains, really, really hoping we can start now building up some good consistent points. I don't think it's a question of the car getting a whole lot faster. I think it's just we're getting better at the game, and the car's characteristics suit these higher speed circuits as well. But of course, plenty can change from weekend to weekend. There is still a little bit of discrepancy with how quick they are, circuit to circuit as well. So we kind of just drive fast and see what results we can get. And it's another weekend though where the game is trying to push upon me the qualifying simulation run. So again, we're only going to be able to get the track climatization and the race sim run completed at the final corner, just so I get in the purple though to kickstart the weekend. Right, on to our race sim run then. Fingers crossed we can get another nice, easy purple score here. I love the fact either the practice programs generally are really easy or impossible. There's no real balance around most circuits. I tell you what, I've done it before and I'll show I'm do it again on F123. I've absolutely jinxed myself. This practice program has actually been quite a decent little and balanced challenge here at Silverstone. In fact, 4/10 up is going to be the biggest delta I've achieved over the practice target time. But there we go, free practice done and done then here from Silvo. One of the best tracks in the world to do a qualifying lap on, so hopefully we can deliver. Well, one of the hallmark signs of a top-quality Formula 1 circuit is just the wide variety of cars that it is fun to race around here, and this place never gets boring. If you're in an absolutely maxed-out car from F1 2020 or F1 2021, to even a bog-standard car in F1 22 or 23 there. We're absolutely going to try and wring the neck out of this thing around these Silverstone laps, and hopefully we can immediately get ourselves into Q2 there. Coming towards the end then of my first lap in anger, just trying to make sure we know exactly what the limitations of the car are. Oh, big lockup, Hamilton-esque from I think it was 2018 there through the final couple of turns, but round in the final turn we'll go. That's going to be a 28.5. Slowest of anyone after I just hyped up trying to wring the neck out of this thing. Don't let it end like this. Well, I'll be honest, as we get ready to start our final lap then here from Silverstone, I'm a little bit scared there. Half a second away from Fittipaldi, who's also on the back row. We are really going to have to go for it and absolutely nail this run if we want to get any sort of a better result here. We could be in for a very tough British Grand Prix. I haven't changed the AI at all. They just seem to be a lot quicker here than they were in Austria. A bit of a mistake as we head out of the Maggots and Beckett section, but still 2/10 up. And we know there was an error in this final sector. Let's just try and nail it.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session, and we're in the drop zone. We need a quick lap, or that's qualifying over for us.
We are going to find a load more time out of the final corner. Will it be any good, though? I think it's P20 on the grid for the for this British Grand Prix. It is. We are starting right towards the very back. There we go then. Carlos Sainz fastest at the end of Q1. But yeah, for us though, I mean, at 27.8, it felt pretty decent around here. It was 2/10 quicker than Fittipaldi was able to achieve, but half a second away from making it into Q2 there. Looks like a big gaggle of cars, pretty much down from, I mean, yeah, Oscar Piastri up in 9th place there, all the way down to Valtteri Bottas, covered by half a second. So, yeah, simply put, the car was just not quick enough on Saturday. I think, you know, we made a couple of little mistakes as well that might have pushed us closer, but I don't see a way in which we could have found another 0.4 of a second there. It's going to be a long British Grand Prix, but there is a threat of changeable conditions here, so let's see what happens. Before we jump into that though, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, Headout. We all want to go to Formula 1 Grand Prix in 2023, but ticket prices seem to always be increasing. Headout offer the best prices available to every single Grand Prix on the 2023 calendar, and I've partnered up with them to try and spread awareness to you all. Click the link down in my description below and you'll be taken to their offers page, and if you use my unique code MAT30, you'll get an extra 30% off when you purchase. You also help support the channel in the process. Headout are a trusted seller and offer some of the best seats available for Formula 1 races, so a massive thank you to them, and let's get back into the video.
You join us in the United Kingdom today, or Great Britain as it's alternatively known. Well, it's certainly a great day today as we welcome you to one of the crown jewels of British sport, a track of speed, history and drama. It's Silverstone. It's the British Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Russell, Sainz, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, Joe, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Sargent, Tsunoda, Albon, Bottas, De Vries, Fittipaldi, Magnussen, Fittipaldi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
We're still in with a chance of winning this title. We need you to push as hard as you can in the 5 remaining races.
Well, everything Mark's just said there has confused me. One, I mean, technically, mathematically, we're within a shot of winning the World Championship. Two, that there's not 5 races to go. And even if there was, then we wouldn't mathematically be in with a shot of the World Championship. F123. Everybody, I don't know what that was all about, but here we are then, on the grid, ready for the British Grand Prix. And like I said, changeable conditions potentially going to appear right towards the end of this one. Shouldn't be too abrasive of a circuit on the tyres. I decided just to take a load of grid penalties as well after we're starting right at the back anyway. So we got, yeah, entirely fresh new power unit going into the car. It should mean we don't have to take too many grid penalties as well later on in the year. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Around in the final couple of corners then to start the British Grand Prix, my home race. And we're going to be doing a last question mark challenge there as we try and put a bit of heat into the rear tyres. Of course, not so important on F123. Magnussen then waiting on him just in front of us to line up on the grid. But let's do this thing then. Here from Silverstone, 5 red lights. Mighty long hole, but it is lights out and away we go there. And I mean, we should get a better reaction time than Magnussen as we head down towards turn 1, but not really able to do anything. That was scary. I was really thought our front wing was going then. Didn't realise I made contact with Magnussen, but we'll take it as Fittipaldi, yeah, a little bit further up the order there. It's actually made up a lot of progress. Up at a P17 for Enzo Fittipaldi, so he knows this weekend he's absolutely driving for his Formula 1 future, of course. Probably won't be with 212 Motorsport, but maybe he's going to try and potentially get a seat elsewhere. There is Nick de Vries, Alex Albon, side by side as we head down the back straight. And yeah, Fittipaldi up to 16th place then, getting around Oscar Piastri as well at the start of this one. But we've made exactly 0 progress on this opening lap so far. Just trying to take it nice and easy. Don't want to risk damaging the car too early on here. I mean, Magnussen, of course, he should be quite quick there, as I think Verstappen leads the way though. Still ahead of Charles Leclerc at the front of the field. But yeah, this is going to be a long race for us. I think, you know, just the car's lack of performance around Silverstone very much being exposed. Austria, kind of, you know, we got quite lucky in qualifying, and then with just the way the race, like a lot of the AI concertinaed it up. So yeah, we did get very, very lucky there as Magnussen and de Vries side by side as we head down the hangar straight down on lap 1. But honestly, it just looks like we're struggling so much with top-end performance, so might carry a bit too much wing into the weekend there. It's just running a little bit wide through the end of the hangar straight. Can we try and make up at least 1 place by the end of lap 1? No, we won't. As Nick de Vries there gets mugged around the outside by Kevin Magnussen. Shades of the attempted move between Kevin and Alex Albon all those years ago in his Red Bull car, as Albon trying to defend from Valtteri Bottas a little bit further up the field. Down the inside of Nick de Vries we will go, and now we've made some progress in this race. If I can't get past Nick de Vries in a Grand Prix, we are in real trouble. Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen reliving their battle from the 2019 British Grand Prix at the front of the field, as I think Charlie Boy has just about been able to take the lead there as we make our way through the final chicane once again. Yep, Charles Leclerc to the lead of the Grand Prix there as Fernando Alonso. Seen him take a couple of fastest laps so far this season. Maybe he can try and snag that bonus point today. Is DRS now enabled? We're just trying to hang on. As you can see, Fittipaldi already causing quite a trip. Magnussen now, whoa, to the inside. I think that's Valtteri Bottas contact between the Alfa Romeo and the Haas car there. Magnussen, how has he done that? Through Magnussen Beckett's there. That is an absolute, I mean, it's on Bottas, isn't it? But still an absolutely audacious move there, as I think Fittipaldi getting jumped by both Alex Albon and Oscar Piastri as we get to the end of the hangar straight. So clearly it's not just my setup then that we're lacking straight line speed, it's just the car in general has got nothing down the straights here. It looks like now it might be Logan Sargent, the driver, with a nosebleed early on in this race, running up at about P13, P14 if I'm not mistaken. We're just trying to hang on to the DRS of Valtteri Bottas here at the moment, as yeah, we've just got nothing. So I think Fittipaldi now going to be under pressure from Kevin Magnussen as we head down the hangar straight. No, this time round our teammate able to hang on there. Must have had the DRS off the cars in front, but yeah, what is going on? I mean, what on earth is happening up here? Logan Sargent now going backwards as well in this GP. Oscar Piastri there able to get around the outside of him. Will somehow, I mean, again, it's Bottas, isn't it? Somehow try and get around the outside of the flying Finn, and only Valtteri Bottas could back out from being on the inside of a corner. But another place gained for us then. I mean, we're kind of just trying to take the spoils at the moment, basically anything we can. So yeah, I think this is going to be a track a bit like Barcelona, if you remember, a few weekends ago, where Williams, AlphaTauri and 212 Motorsport were all just kind of exposed for how weak our cars are at the moment. As Bottas and myself side by side, Hamilton, Verstappen, I'm going to back out of that one, I think. So here comes Nick de Vries though off the corner, and Nick de Vries now going to be forced to back out of that one. Not quite the audacious move we saw from Magnussen. It's just, look at the understeer. We just got no grip. Enzo Fittipaldi again having to go defensive on Kevin Magnussen as we head down the Wellington straight this time round. And will Fittipaldi, the young Brazilian there, be able to try and keep Magnussen at bay? Don't think he will. Magnussen this time around the outside again. And name a more iconic duo than Kevin Magnussen and a ballsy overtake. I'll wait. But yeah, again though, it looks like we might drop out the DRS of yet another car. I mean, the Alfa Romeo and the Haas cars aren't that bad inside F123, so yeah, really they should be squabbling a little bit further up. As now, after I've slated Bottas all race so far for being not very brave, he's just got a mugged off Fittipaldi as well.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
That's a little bit earlier than I wanted to hear that message, Mark, but yeah, it does make sense. And Magnussen has managed to lose the DRS as well for those cars in front of him, so he's going to be a sitting duck to myself as we head down the hangar straight. No shenanigans that time round by our teammate, which is nice, but yeah, P20, unless we start seeing a lot more aggressive battling going on for other cars, might be all we can really do here at the moment. Maybe Sargent can get shuffled back. Whoa, into our little backmarker group, as that was scary. Well, Bottas has now found a way around Sargent then in this Grand Prix, but I wonder if Logan going to be able to try and hang on inside the DRS of Valtteri. So yeah, we're just still having to try and defend from Nick de Vries here at the moment. And it's almost like, because of course Spain was the next race after Monaco, it's almost like EA see that I get a decent result and then go, yeah, we need to make sure that doesn't happen again for a little while there, as Nick de Vries tried it around the outside, and we'll very much show him that is not going to be how this is going to work. I refuse to get mugged off by Nick de Vries of all people. This tyre warning light already showing up then as well in this GP, so I think we're going to have to pit the end of this one and actually go on a set of hard compound tyres for the end of the Grand Prix. So nothing is working for us here at Silverstone at the moment. We just cannot find any sort of performance in any regard. Here we go then, Nick de Vries to the outside. Fittipaldi might try and follow him past me. So I'm going to try and make de Vries' life a bit more difficult. Up the inside we'll go. Oh, that was aggressive, but I let Fittipaldi through in the process. His first car into the pit lane then for the second weekend. 38 miles an hour on a 37 pit lane. I am stupid. This race just goes from bad to worse at the moment now. I mean, it's something like a safety car. That's exactly what we need. A safety car or a red flag during this GP to give us any sort of hope, I feel. But we've got to get on with it. I want to try and do something for the home crowd, even though, I mean, one of the Mercs is winning, so that's good for the British boys. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Ferrari there. Must have missed that, because they were battling at the front of the field, and suddenly now they're a good couple of seconds away. But it's George Lewis and Max Verstappen then. So let's hope one of the Brits can bring it home. As yeah, heading back out of the pit lane, though, we are in for a long rest of the day. I've just spotted on my mini-map, Alex Albon seems to be stuck on the set of soft compound tyres somewhere in this final sector. Has finally got it going again, but what on earth happened to Albon? That's very, very weird. We got pretty much every other runner then in the field diving into the pit lane at the end of lap 12, so they're likely all going to be taking a set of mediums to the end of this race. Let's see if we can try and get a jump on Fittipaldi and de Vries once again, and maybe get a little bit closer to a few other cars. I mean, effectively now we're going to be a long way ahead of Alex Albon for at least a little while in this race, as Albon and Piastri both into the pit lane then. That's not ideal through the final couple of corners. Yeah, just have not found a balance that works around here so far today in Silverstone. It's honestly felt like a very, very challenging circuit once again there, as we're going to be ahead of at least a couple of cars here. We're going to re-emerge between de Vries and Sargent once again, so yeah, Sargent's inside the DRS range of Oscar Piastri though again, so is he once more going to be able to latch on to another car? Or this time round, can we try and get to the American? I just want to see Sargent lose the DRS to those cars in front. It sounds terrible, but I just want to know that we're still quicker than the Williams driver. I know Albon's rapid, but I just want to know I'm quicker than Logan. Is that too much to ask? Freeze there, up the inside through the hairpin. He's going to be able to try and maintain the run as we head down the old back straight. Try and swoop through. That was scary. Albon then goes from bad to worse for the Thai driver. More mechanical issues. So I wanted to try and see if we had the pace to get past Sargent. He's just jumped Bottas and Piastri there. He must have gone 3 wide down at the end of the Wellington straight. But yeah, definitely not quick enough to match him. And I had also forgot we got that 5-second penalty as well. So basically our race today is with Alex Albon. Unfortunately, come the end of this, but if I can beat Fittipaldi on the road, I'll be happy. And De Vries, of course. Here comes De Vries to the outside once again. He's tried it before. And again, he's probably going to get the same outcome. Yeah, try it, mate. Just try it. Gets wheel to wheel. I can get on the power earlier, and he chickens out. Vries and Fittipaldi then still seem to be battling behind me late on in this race. And to be honest, it's preventing either of them for being able to get much of a run on myself there. As again, De Vries trying to have a go around the outside. And this time around, Fittipaldi give him a bit more room than I ever will. But again, oh, contact between them. I just saw in my rear view mirror. Yeah, Fittipaldi will drop back once more. Not much, but he will. Oh, Sonoda out of the Grand Prix all of a sudden. Go on, just give us a safety car game. Give us something to spice this up late on in the afternoon. There is Yuki's stricken AlphaTauri car. So, I mean, we're going to get a freebie in that regard. We might still finish P20 then this afternoon. But, just give us a safety car. He's parked in a dangerous location. Oh, De Vries this time around, though, has got a mega run on me. Perhaps under less pressure from Fittipaldi. But, yeah, I said about the straight line speed. Against that AlphaTauri car, we seem competitive still. Lando Norris now out of the Grand Prix as well. In exactly the same place Yuki retired from the races 1 lap ago. So, that is heartbreaking for our fellow Brit. And Grand Prix heartbreak for Lando Norris and McLaren then. But again, for us, it's going to be another freebie. Oh no, this time around, Nick De Vries has found an avenue down the inside of me. As we get towards the end of the hangar straight, we'll try and swoop round him, but Nick De Vries will say thank you very much, no grip out there. I can see why he's had to back out against me so many times, but we cannot finish behind Nick De Vries. There we go, rain definitely not going to appear by the end of this race, but look at that down the back straight past Nick De Vries. Once again, so it's much easier for us to make that move than it is for the AlphaTauri driver. But again, I can't help but feel like we've gone through this set of tyres. 5 laps to go. We are just trying to hang on. Oh, don't try it. Don't try it, Nick. No. Oh, he listened. Okay. F123's AI can hear me, apparently. Nick De Vries then, I was adamant he was going to stick it up the inside. F122's AI would have absolutely done so. But no, we get to live another day. Aww. Oh, dearie me. How many cars are going to have issues today? And I mean, Fittipaldi, I think both of our cars have had issues all weekend long. That's the fact that around Silverstone, they have basically done their best impression of a toaster oven. But 4 laps to go. Nick De Vries still hounding us as 15 seconds behind Logan Sargent. No one says that in Formula 1. You don't end up 15 seconds behind Logan Sargent. I don't know when Nick De Vries has found the grip there, but straight back down the inside of me he'll go. And you know what? We'll try and switch him down the inside. Oh, I've gone way too deep. Come on, keep it on the road. I mean, we may as well just go for it at this stage of the afternoon there, as Nick De Vries will swoop through back into P17 then of this GP. And I mean, yeah, maybe if we can get Fittipaldi out of the range. I mean, again, it won't really make much difference, but we might still be able to get him despite the 5-second penalty with just a handful of laps to go then up the inside of De Vries once more. Ooh, I'm to second guess ourselves through the second part of the loop. Yes, this, I mean, the cloud cover has been getting worse and worse throughout most of the afternoon, and suddenly now, it's got suddenly very bright again. And here goes Nick De Vries once again then. And this time around, we'll actually try and see if we can switch him off the corner, but no. As Alex Albon's only 5 seconds away. Don't say I'm still going to lose to Albon in all of this. He was sat there for like a good half a minute down at the final couple of turns. I don't get how we've got a tyre warning on a set of medium tyres after 14 laps, but sorry, on a set of hard tyres after 14 laps. I just guess we have absolutely cooked another set of rubber here, but yeah, we're just over 1 lap to go then. Need to try and get back round Nick De Vries as we head down the hangar straight. How many times have we done this to each other this afternoon? I mean, Silverstone does promote some pretty good racing still. At least we know that inside F123. But Fittipaldi then, it could actually be very, very close between ourselves and our teammate here. And maybe, you know, if he holds up Alex Albon, we might still be able to get the pair of them, because I would hate to finish last in my home race. But 1 more lap to go then here from Silverstone. We can't even enjoy it yet, because I'm still trying to push to see if I can beat my teammate there, as that is not the line through turn 1. That's how badly we've wrecked these tyres then. You can't even go through there very consistently at all, as trying to defend through the next couple of turns. Nick De Vries might be able to get the run on the exit. Try and pinch him. And just like Bottas did all those laps ago, he will have to sit back. 2 seconds we still need over Fittipaldi on this final lap. Sergio Perez, though, is going to win the British Grand Prix. I honestly thought it was Max Verstappen who'd been leading this one pretty much from the get-go. Looks like the Dutchman's had issues late on in the day, because he's way down the order there. Hamilton and Russell will make it a British 2-3 here and get both of the Mercs onto the podium. So Red Bull losing it a little bit in the Constructors' Championship potentially. But yeah, I mean, for us, no other words to describe it other than a disaster here at Silverstone. It's been a huge wake-up call. No, yeah. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Tyres have completely gone on the final lap then. I mean, what temperature? How have we got them up to 66%? A set of hard tyres here. They haven't even cooked. They're just rubbish. This car has not worked around this circuit. The rain now has finally arrived as well, and that could have made things interesting just a few laps ago, but it's my worst result of the season, I'm pretty certain. Up there with Bahrain, apparently, but through the final couple of corners we'll go. A disaster here from the British Grand Prix. Not the weekend I wanted. 1 second.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Here we are then, a fantastic British Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. Now let's take a look at the driver's standings. This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we go. Max Verstappen, 1st to 9th there at Silverstone. Apparently, is Anthony Davidson's driver of the day. Never mind Sergio Perez going 3rd to 1st, or Hamilton from 6th to 4th there. Nope, it's got to be Max going from 1st to 9th. But there we are then, the end of the British GP there. Like we said, Checo takes the win ahead of both of the British Mercedes drivers there. Carlos Sainz can't quite back up his result from 2022 and will only come through for P4 ahead of Charles Leclerc and both Aston Martins. Annoyingly, you know, we get close to Lance Stroll in the championship and suddenly he decides he's remembered how to score points once again. Hülkenberg, Verstappen and Ocon will round out our top 10 this weekend. Then no other major surprises, I suppose. I mean, McLaren, yeah, really rough weekend for them. And I mean, Lando and Yuki both not making it to the checkered flag, but that means championship-wise, yeah, we haven't quite jumped Lance just yet, so we are still in P11, but Pierre Gasly with another point there for him. Checo, though, carves down that gap to the Max Verstappen there, down to just 46 points. Charles Leclerc further 4 points behind him, and then Hamilton now ahead of Sainz and George Russell with that result, so it's all still to play for in the championship at the moment. Constructors-wise, though, no real movement there. I think pretty much every team at the moment looking pretty locked in. Still, the battle to probably watch out for Ferrari versus Mercedes. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And we will be back very soon when Formula One returns ready for the Hungarian Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members. So a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below. And yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.